Guys, what is up? My name is Megan. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. I hope you guys are doing well and staying safe. And welcome to this very chaotic and over-the-top book haul. Essentially, we have around 60 books to haul. Yes, you've heard that right. So grab a snack, grab a drink. We're gonna be here a while. Essentially, this is books going back all the way to like the end of May to now that I haven't hauled. These are not all the special editions I have purchased. Those have been featured in separate videos. Now, in order to make this sort of coherent, I'm going to timestamp this video with books in different genres. That's how we're going to separate them for this video. If you only are interested in seeing what I purchased for certain types of books, feel free to navigate as you wish. If not, let's hop on in. We'll go from the smaller piles into the bigger ones. Also, obviously, there are a lot of books here. I might not go into full detail about every single one of them because we're going to be here for days. Starting off with literary fiction, the first one I have on my stack is Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. This is actually going to be on my November TBR. This is a dual perspective story between a woman and an octopus, and they form a bond while the woman works the night shift at the aquarium after losing her husband. It sounds very heartbreaking. I'm excited for it. Also, I'll take a shot every time I say excited because it just comes out. I'm sorry. We also have What You're Looking For Is in the Library by Mikio Ayoma. This is actually a translated work, and it very much reminds me of Before the Coffee Gets Cold meets The Midnight Library. We follow a librarian who gives recommendations to people, and those recommendations literally change their lives. So hype. And the last one on my stack is Black Cake. This is the Waterstones exclusive edition that was on clearance for literally like $5. This follows a main character who I believe passed away, and then her two children are reunited for the funeral, and then they have this weird inheritance, and it's kind of like a family drama mixed with some other things. It sounds very intriguing. I'm not doing the synopsis justice, but just know I own this book. I want to read it. It's also very peculiar looking with like a fork and a spoon. I don't know what that's about, but I'm assuming we'll figure it out. Then we move on to graphic novels, and I only have two. One of them is If You'll Have Me by Uni. This is, again, Waterstones exclusive. It has the sprayed edges, and I have already read this. I will be talking about it in a mini book review series that I will have like a video coming out where I review a bunch of books that I haven't talked about on my channel. Just know, absolutely, I loved it. It's an LGBTQ romance between two women, well, young adults. I loved it. The art style is absolutely gorgeous. Highly recommend. And then we have the one and only Lower Olympus Volume 4. I don't think I need to say anything about this, but I do own it. I believe Volume 5 is now out, and so I'm delayed again with the series. But I own Volume 4 now, so love that for me. I also have two manga, which I'm not sure if I hauled in my manga vlogs that were last put on my channel. One of them is Yona of the Dawn, and this is heavily inspired by Katie's reading. She absolutely loves this series, and when I did a deep dive of this, it sounded amazing, and I've heard a lot of my subscribers really enjoy this. So I do own the first volume. I'm not sure what to expect, but I am very hyped for this one. And I also have My Love Mix-Up Volume 3, which is a series I have started. I am up to Volume 3, so I needed to get it. And I purchased this when I was placing an order on Indigo, and I didn't want to pay for shipping, so instead I've just got this, which made sense. Still haven't read it though. Moving on to mysteries and thrillers, this is where the stacks get a little bit bigger. The first one on my stack is Death of a Bookseller by Alice Slater. This I actually read in one of my previous weekly reading vlogs for the Spookopolis. This is a dual perspective novel. It follows two booksellers. It talks about true crime. One of them has an obsession with the other. I ended up giving this 2.75. I don't actually recommend this book, and I will be getting rid of it, but just know that it has spent some time in my collection, even though its time was very short. Then I also have Every Exquisite Thing by Laura Stephen. This is like Dorian Gray meets a mystery thriller and It has beautiful, let me zoom that in for you, sprayed edges. This, I believe, is young adult. I don't know much about it anymore. I did read the synopses obviously before purchasing this, but I have forgotten because it took a little time to get to me. But it is here, and I know it's a picture of Dorian Gray featuring a mystery thriller. Very excited. Then we have yet another copy of A Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. This is the collector's edition. It looks very nice. It's gorgeous. And it has these sprayed edges. This is technically my 4th copy, but I did sell one of my paperbacks, so I now have the Fairy Loot, this one, and the regular hardback edition. Do I need all these copies? No. Can I help myself? Also no. Then we have The Thieves Gambit, which is a thief competition. It sounds amazing. This is also YA, but I really still enjoy YA when it comes to mystery and thrillers, and this sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun and very action-packed. Again, this is a Waterstones exclusive with red sprayed edges. It also came out recently, so if you haven't heard about it, go check it out. Then we have my Waterstones copy of The Brothers Hawthorne. This is the 4th book in the Inheritance game series. This comes with very pretty green edges. And it is also signed. Oh, I hadn't noticed the little flower details. And it has this sort of detailing on it as well. And as I said, it is signed. I do own the Fairy Loot books for this series as well, and I have pre-ordered the 4th book for it to match as well, but I do also have the regular edition, so I thought it would be fun. I am a Jennifer Lynn Barnes girly. I have been for like 7 years now, so I'm very excited for her work to be getting more recognition because she deserves it. She's a queen. I feel like I'm speeding through these. I'm sorry if I'm talking fast, but like there's just so much here. Then we have None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. This is a book I spoke about in my TBR video of mysteries I have wanted to read, as was this book, which is Just Another Missing Person. And these are both thriller books, I believe, mystery thrillers. And I don't remember the synopses for these, but I explained them better in that TBR video. However, I just know I'm gonna have such a fun time reading both of these, and I've been in a mystery thriller mood, so I'm slowly making my way through that TBR of mine. But both of these are well-known authors, and I'm incredibly excited. These hardbacks are from Waterstones. I got them from the UK because they're less expensive, so we love a savings queen. And I also have The Only Survivors by Megan Miranda, which again I talked about in that TBR video, so I don't want to repeat myself too much, but I've been collecting Megan Miranda because I really do love this author, and I'm planning on doing a deep dive of her books for you guys. So I needed this one. This is one of her, I believe, one of her newest releases, if not her newest, and I'm intrigued by this one. It's actually kind of short, which is perfect for a mystery thriller. Moving on to fantasy, because for some reason that stack is also big. The first one on my stack is Legends and Lattes by Travis Baudry. This is like a cozy fantasy. The second book in the series actually comes out in November, and I'm extremely excited. I got the UK edition again because the covers are just so stunning. This is like about an orc or some other mythical being opening a coffee shop in a town that's never heard of coffee. It sounds very charming. Then we have Powerless by Lauren Roberts. This is a romantasy book, and I don't know if I think it's dual perspective. It is! Love that for us. So this one is the Waterstones with the sprayed edges, and I am just really getting into romantasy, so I'm collecting the ones I think I'm really going to enjoy. Can't tell you the plot of this. I know it has to do with like elites, a plague, some regular old fantasy stuff with some romance. Then I also have Throne of the Fallen by Carrie Maniscalco. This is the Waterstones exclusive with these cool edges. The top and bottom are purple, and the UK first edition prints also had this cool thing on it. It has these cool maps. If you've been here for a couple of years, you would know that Carrie Maniscalco has been one of my favorite authors, like top 3 authors since I started the Stalking Jack the Ripper series, maybe like in 2017, and she has been gaining momentum and popularity since then, and so it's getting increasingly hard to get like special editions of her books, which I love that for her, hate that for me. So I was very happy that I was able to pre-order this because it went out of stock real fast, and I have it. Another exclusive addition to Waterstones is this edition of Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare. This is a beautiful edition. It is stunning, and essentially it has gold sprayed edges. It is chunky. This is over 600 pages long. It has this beautiful detailing as well. And this, I believe, is Cassandra Clare's first foray into adult fantasy. And I have been wanting to read Cassandra Clare for a long time. However, the Mortal Instruments series and like the Shadowhunters universe has just gotten so big and so intimidating that I was like, screw this. I'm not even going to attempt to follow along the series. So when she decided to publish something outside of that, I was very happy and I got myself a copy. Another book I featured on my channel but needed to mention I purchased is Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. This is the indie copy. It's about vampires. There's some trials. It's romantasy. Everybody loved it, and this one is definitely like a peer pressure purchase because I feel like I'm missing out. So I got it. I did read a couple of chapters before bed one night. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this, quite honestly, but I am hopeful. I remain hopeful. Another peer pressure purchase, this one I'm more confident in, is Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. This is the UK cover with the people on it. Much prettier in my opinion than the US cover. It's about 2 rivals. There's a war. I think they write to each other. It's a romance as well. I think this is young adult. The sequel comes out in January of 2024, I believe. Yeah, it says, no God, no war, no one can come between them. And look how pretty these people are. Like, I love that for us. Then editions I have spoken about and I'm very excited exist are the Daughter of the Pirate King and Daughter of the Siren Queen editions that are like the new editions with, if it will focus, sprayed edges as well. And they all have really cool end papers. You're not going to see them well, but this one has Alosa's ship on it, which is the Nightfarer, and I'm a big fan of the series. I have been since it came out. The third book, which I think is going to be like a companion novel or a companion series, comes out at the end of this year, and I'm excited because I love these, and I was so sad I missed out on the Fairy Loot editions because those are stunning. Like, I want those, but they're hard to get, so I got these. And then we got the Brandy Sandy stuff going on here, which are his 3 books that have released in his like they were originally a Kickstarter campaign and then they were published, his secret projects. We have Tress of the Emerald Sea. This one's tricky. The Frugal Wizard's Handbook for Surviving Medieval England. Such a quirky concept. And Yumi and the Nightmare Painter. This is actually the Waterstones exclusive edition with beautiful sprayed edges, which, ta-da, it's like this all around. And it also has, I don't know if the other books also have this, but like the end papers are absolutely stunning. So I'm currently reading Yumi. I will tell you more about it when I've read more, but I have talked about this one in some of my vlogs, but just know that I have all 3 of them. Next, we will do romance. Technically, it's the biggest stack, but I'm going to keep middle grade for the end because I know not everybody loves middle grade. I understand that, but still. So, the first 4 books, no, the first 3 books on my stack are all from the same, oh my god, all from the same series, and it is this football series by Candy Steiner. I already had Blindside. However, Fair Catch Quarterback Sneak and Hail Mary I recently purchased. These are the like alternate covers because I didn't want naked men on my books. And you guys, these were such a bargain. I will say, like, I don't think I paid any books full price, or maybe like 1/3 of them. These retail for like $22 to $27 Canadian each. I got this one for $8 and these two for $12, and I feel like an accomplished woman. So yes, this is something I'm working on very soon. I want to read the entire series. Another book by Candy Steiner is Meet Your Match. This was actually a gift from my partner, so thank you. So yeah, this is a hockey romance, the first in a series. The second book comes out October 27th. Very excited. These are available on KU as well if you wanted to read them. I just love the alternate cover so much. Does it have anything to do with the book? I'm not sure, but the aesthetic of this, Candy never misses. Then we have Small Town Hero by Olivia Hawley, and this was sent to me by Amélie from Amélie Boucher when I lost my dog, and I cherish this very much. This is like a sentimental book as much as it is like, it's fun to get a gift, but the reason behind the gift is so sweet. This is a dual perspective romance. It's new boss and brother's best friend all mixed in one. Then a book that had come late from that big Waterstones haul was Marriage for One by Ella Mays. I got rid of the old covers and got the new ones instead. This is what it looks like. I really love the spines of these. So yeah, I sold the other ones on Marketplace and I liked the illustrated ones better. We also have Love Me Do by Lindsay Kelk. She is like a well-known author, I believe, in the UK for romance. However, I have never read any of her books. This one sounded adorable. I've spoken about this book on my channel before, so I'm not going to go too much into detail, but I'm excited. We also have Forget Me Not by Julie Soto. This has been loved by everyone and I'm so excited to read it. I just need to find the time. It's between a wedding planner and her ex who does floral arrangements, and they have to do a wedding together, and I'm so excited. Then another book in the same series from Olivia Hawley is Dark-Eyed Devil. It's the Brothers of Paradise series, and this is the first book, and I believe this is a second chance romance. It is also a dual perspective. I love the covers for these, just saying. Then another book I got on clearance was Famine by Laura Talassa. This is one of the Four Horsemen books. This is the third, and it's the one that actually sounds most interesting to me. A lot of people say her books in the series are kind of repetitive, so I decided to just pick one and go with it, and this obviously is Famine, and it's his love story. It sounds kind of gruesome and like sad at the same time. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this, but I wanted to try it out because it's kind of out of my wheelhouse. Maybe it's gonna become like something I'm obsessed with. Then we have Weak Side by S.J. Silvis, and this is fake dating, hockey romance. Love that for me. We also have another hockey romance here, which is Behind the Net by Stephanie Archer. This is about an NHL goalie and his assistant, and there's a dog in here. It sounds adorable. It's a pretty long book. It's like 400-ish pages. So I'll see what I feel about this, but again, Stephanie Archer, I believe, is a Canadian author, and I've been collecting her books as they come on sale. You have seen in previous hauls, so I got this one as well. It's dual perspective. Love that for me. And then I got these two books, which again, I am scared to read, but I'm so excited at the same time. It's Damaged Like Us and Tangled Like Us by Christy and Becca Ritchie. These are books 1 and 4 in the Like Us series. These are the only two that sounded interesting to me, and these were also on clearance on Waterstones for, I believe, $4 or $5 each, which, like, excuse me, I think these are dual perspective as well. Yes, they are. And I know these authors wrote the Addicted series. I have not read that. I don't think I want to read it, but this is like bodyguards, and yeah, this one is a bodyguard romance. This is also a bodyguard romance. I'm excited. let's move on to the second stack of romance. You can kind of see them, can't you? The first on this stack is Hideaway Heart by Melanie Harlow. What? By Melanie Harlow. Why was that so hard to say? This is also dual perspective, I believe. If I can, yes. And it's about a former Navy SEAL and a country star, and I think he becomes her bodyguard or something like that, and I'm so excited. I think this is a companion novel to Runaway Heart that I have also hauled previously. I was trying to find it on my bookshelves. Did not find it. We also have Tutoring the Player by Rebecca Genschak, and this is a hockey romance yet again. Can we see a theme here? Dual perspective is a must, and it's essentially between a girl who tutors a hockey player and the hockey player. Typical, love that. This is like the alternate cover as well. Then we have Star-Crossed Letters. This is on my November TBR and I cannot wait. It is a anonymous relationship, pen pals. He's a celebrity, she works in a coffee shop. At a moment in time she stops answering and he goes to look for her. Again, excited. We also have The Pucking Wrong Number, which I've talked about previously on my channel. I'm not sure if I hauled this one or not, but again, I'm excited for this. This is by C.R. Jane and it is anonymous. Again, it's like wrong number. They become friends and then they fall in love. It's dual perspective and I have such high hopes for this one specifically. The second book in this companion series has also just recently come out and I am desperate to get that one. But again, I have a lot of books to read, so like, can I justify buying it? Find out soon. We also have Things We Left Behind by Lucy Score. This is the third and final book in the Knockmount series. Lucy Score is hit and miss for me. Sometimes I'm like, oh my god, I'm obsessed, and sometimes I'm like, don't care. So we'll see how I fall with this one. I don't even know the tropes for this one, but like, I know when I looked at the synopses, I was like, this sounds like the best out of the three in this series. And also, I got this for $11 on release day, so a bargain. I also have The Long Game by Elena Armas. This is a soccer romance. It is dual perspective. I think it's her first time doing dual perspective, but I'm not sure. There's something with goats and animals in here as well, which sounds hilarious. Again, I need to read from this author instead of just collecting her books. But that's not what we're here for today. We're just here to haul the books, demonstrate we have a problem, and then move on. Another hockey romance I have is Just Don't Fall, which is by Emma St. Clair, which is one of my favorite authors. She does no spice in her books, actually. This is like a closed door romance, but sometimes I do enjoy closed door romances, and she's one of my favorite authors who does closed door. I think this is dual perspective, yes, and it sounds sweet. This is part of like a collaboration series between a multitude of authors who have written books all in the same world, I believe, and this is her book. Then, more Candy Steiner. We have the first three books in the Palm South University. I had technically owned Rush in the old covers. I did not like the old covers. Too many shirtless men. So I saw the new covers and I was like, oh my god, I'm obsessed. But there's like 7 of them in the series, and again, they retail for like $27, which is obnoxious. I did not pay them $27. I paid them $12. Candy Steiner books are often $12 on Amazon. I don't know why. So I got the first 3. These are like, if you like drama, for those of you who read Magnolia Parks and just eat drama up, this series is for you. It is so dramatic. There's multiple points of view. This is like a fraternity situation. I really enjoyed my time with the first one, and I was like, I need the second book, but I wasn't gonna pay freaking almost $30. But now I have the first 3 in these beautiful looking editions, and I'm not complaining. Another book I have is Black Ties and White Lies by Kat Singleton. Again, this is her billionaire book, the first in, I believe, a companion series, because romances are all companion series now. I have some tea with Kat Singleton in the sense that one of her books is like an obsession of mine. I gave it 5 stars. I think about it often. And then I read another book in that series and I gave it 1 star. And now I'm afraid to read more of her books. However, I did purchase this because, again, it was heavily discounted. I think I got this for $10, something like that. This is Dual Perspective, and I know I can like her books. Like I have liked her books before, but that 1-star book really just, you know, it took me back. I was shocked. So I have this one and one of her small town ones to read. Cross your fingers for me for that one. If you've read it, let me know if you think I'm going to enjoy it. And the last book in my romance stack is Lucky Hit by Hannah Cohen. Again, Dual Perspective. It's a romance. This one is really floppy and I love the shininess of this book. So yeah, clearly hockey romances are a thing I am invested in this year, and I really am not mad about it. So let's move on to the last stack in this never-ending haul, which is my middle grade. I'm sorry if the angle changed slightly. I needed to change the battery. So moving on, this is our last stack. This is middle grade. I'm so excited. These are also beautiful. First on my stack is Pages & Co. The Last Book Wanderer, which these books will never not be gorgeous. Like, this is the last book in the Pages & Co. series, which I have spoken about thoroughly on my channel. And if you have not read this, I highly recommend. I am a stan of this series. You can't go wrong with it. You truly cannot. Then we have Arcspire by Jamie Littler. This is the Waterstones exclusive edition with green stenciled edges. This, as I said, is by the author of Frostheart, and it is a new story, and it's set in this city, and like there's people with magic who control basically everything, and it has to do with relics. A relic is stolen, our character goes on an adventure. I can't really tell you what this is about anymore. I've had this on my shelf for a couple of months, but just know I'm incredibly excited for this one. Then the icon, the moment, it is she, Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the Chalice of Gods, the Waterstones exclusive with beautiful sprayed edges. This is the 6th book in the Percy Jackson series. It is signed by the king of literature himself. I'm so excited to have this. Percy Jackson should go on forever. That is my opinion. So yeah, obsessed with this cover. Percy is going to college. Love that. We also have Impossible Creatures by Catherine Rundle. This is also an exclusive edition with sprayed edges. This has to do with like a magical world. There are dragons. This world is unknown to the humans, and our main character stumbles upon it because his grandfather had to do with this world. It took like 2 months to get to me, which was sad, but I'm glad it didn't come damaged. This is also signed in this beautiful like template. So excited. We have Stepfather Christmas by L.D. Lipinski, who was the author of, I always blank on her other series. She's the author of another middle grade series. You probably are familiar with her name. I'm not even going to try at this point. And it also has reindeer sprayed edges, like such. This is like a book with a concept. It essentially has 25 chapters. You can read a chapter a day leading up to Christmas, which is what I intend to do. We also have The Vanquishers by Kaylin Barron. This also has like spooky sort of edges. It's a vampires story. It's like vampires are extinct. Everybody knows that. But, and like it's a group of kids. It kind of reminds me of Stranger Things, like the cover, the vibe. Do you get it? Those who get it, get it. Those who don't. Then we have a arc that was kindly sent to me by the author, which is the Doomtown Dummies. If you are looking for a spooky middle grade book, look no further. I always love encouraging indie authors, and so when this came in my inbox, I was very excited. This is about a young girl who talks to the dead with a supernatural sense of smell. I'm very jealous. I don't have a sense of smell anymore, so like, Colette, would you like to share? Yeah, very intriguing. It's a short one. If you have young kids that like spooky things, I think this one could be a hit. Then we have Wood Witch, which is the sequel to Head Witch. This is a witchy middle grade story, and the covers are stunning. I'm excited for this. I'm excited for the series. I still haven't read the first one, so I don't want to spoil myself with the synopses of the second, but just know it's like a witchy story set in Hedgewood, I believe. Then we have Once Upon a Legend by Ben Miller, and again, this is when I read the synopses and I was like, this sounds really intriguing, and it's by an author that like has written a lot of middle grade and is well known in the community, so I was like, you know, it could be a great entry point. This is his newest book. It looks magical, it looks fun. I'm here for it. Then we have Read, Scream, Repeat by Jennifer Killick, which she's the curator of this, but this is an anthology of a lot of different spooky middle grade stories. I think I'm going to read this in the week leading up to Halloween, if this is posted after Halloween, I'm sorry, but this is my intention. It is chunky-ish. Chunky's a big word for a middle grade, but like almost 400 pages, but I'm intrigued to see how I feel about anthologies in general, and I feel like middle grade spooky stories, there couldn't be a better place to start. And this also has cool edges. It's from Waterstones again. We also have Crookhaven, the School for Thieves, which is the first in a middle grade series, and it's about a school for thieves. And this was also ordered from Waterstones in that big haul I did. I'm literally wearing the same jumper, but it had not been shipped with that order, so it is here. It is stunning, and it's very floppy. And the sequel, I believe, just released. Similarly, we also have Keepers of the Lost City Everblaze, which is the third book in the Keepers of the Lost Cities series, which was also in that order, but it had not come. It got here later. It is here in all its glory. Then we have a used copy of Tilly and the Book Wanderers by Anna James. This is a hardcover copy, and I'm so happy I found this for really cheap. This was a struggle to find because I did not jump on the bandwagon of the series when it, like, the first book came out, and then it was sold out everywhere of hardcovers, and I have the rest of the series in hardcovers, and it was bugging me that the first I had was in paperback, but I found a great conditioned first edition of this book, and I am very happy. And the last book in this entire haul is The Miracle on Ebenezer Street by Catherine Doyle. This was also on clearance on Waterstones for $3, and it is a Christmas story, and I'm so excited for Christmas, you guys. Christmas is gonna puke all over my channel in just like 2 weeks, so hold on to your hats because it's gonna be a wild time here. I'm very excited for this. It's been like on my TBR for like 2 years, so now I finally own a copy, and I'm excited. So those were all of the books. I'm so tired of talking. Thank you if you made it to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what books you want me to prioritize, what books you think I would like out of this stack, and I'll catch you guys with another video soon. Wish me luck with my ever-growing TBR. Bye guys, happy reading.